Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I wanted to know, is it mandatory to have a wedding party slash walima, or am I swimming against the tide if I choose not to have one? And the reason for not to having one is because even if I go through the pains of trying to have two separate halls in which, I'm on the female side, and because it's all women, I am not going to be wearing my niqab, I'm going to be fully adorned. But unfortunately, in today's day and age, everyone with a phone think that they are entitled to take other people's pictures and post them on the internet without consent. And so for that reason, I know in my community, I'm not going to be able to have a wedding party. Like, I'm not going to be able to get all adorned and without the risk of somebody taking my picture. So in this case, is it advised, Yani, can I not have a wedding party altogether? Jazakumullahu khairan.
Unfortunately, this is a prevailing problem worldwide, and the Muslims are to be blamed. We have compromised our religion big time. We succumb to the pressure of the community, of our peers, of our family members, our relatives, and little by little diluting our religion, our convictions and beliefs, and allowing people to take advantage of us. And this is not Islam. Islam prevails over everything. Now, in wedding parties, it is a shame. I get my women folk coming to me saying that we've seen women in a segregated only women parties shamelessly taking their mobile phones and snapping shots of decent niqabi women who are chaste, who are known in the community to be da'is or scholars or women of religion. Yet they take snaps of them and have the audacity to go and either post it on their Instagrams or to show it to their men, whether husbands or brothers or sons. And this woman is oblivious, is unaware. I am invited to an Islamic wedding. There is no music, there is nothing haram, no free mixing. I'm putting my guard down. I'm wearing my soiree, I'm wearing my dress of the night, I'm putting my makeup, I'm having a good time. And this shameless woman who is so low and degenerate to the level that she takes my picture without my knowledge, she has no fear of Allah. She has no shame. And good news is, Allah will expose her. Allah will expose her family. Allah would make everyone see her most intimate secrets without her wanting that, because this is what you get as a punishment. What is the solution? We have two extremes. Either to go and say whatever happens, happens, I'll take it on the day of judgment, but this does not fulfill my rights. Your husband is not happy, your son is not happy, your brother is not happy of your picture being circulated like this. Or you say, I will not go to any of them weddings after today, and that is also un-Islamic.
Sheikh, the ruling about not facing the Qiblah while in the washroom, does it only apply in the washroom or when we are in our rooms changing? Jazakallah khair.
Wa jazakum. This rule applies to when answering the call of nature, not when changing your clothes or being butt naked in your own room. There's no problem in that. And there are 7 different opinions, as mentioned by Shawkani in his book Nail al-Awtar and other scholars, that whether it is permissible, what's not permissible, is it facing the Qiblah or giving your back to the Qiblah, or both, is it indoors or outdoors, is facing the moon or the sun is included, and so many different opinions. And the most authentic opinion is that while indoors, when we are in a normal toilet, there are walls and partitions and doors surrounding us, that this is permissible. Though the hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him, says, if I recall correctly, that when they went to Syria and found that the places of answering the call of nature is directed to the Qiblah, they used to tilt a little bit while answering it and asking Allah for forgiveness.